Welcome to Monday's preview for Doncaster this evening. The race is shown live on Racing Post TV. First race is at 6:09, and that's an A2 graded event where we see the first of a couple of dogs from John Sharp's kennel, who's moving across from Sheffield to grade here at Doncaster. They're Trap 2, Forward Thinking, and 5, Dingy's Ronaldo. Dingy's Ronaldo in 5 looks more of a staying type, probably wants Trap 6 as well. Forward Thinking has got a modicum of pace, and he's an A2, A3 dog at Sheffield, so he should be competitive here. But we don't know too much about them, and they might just have plenty to clear in the form of there you are now in Trap 1. It's going to be the selection, very small bet around about the 5-1 mark, made it just slightly 3-1 favourite, something like that. It's a competitive race. Keedy Candy and Travilla Storm in Traps 3 and 4 respectively, they meet each other, and they are closely matched. Tommy Blue's an interesting runner in Trap 6. Will be staying on late. If he secures an early passage and gets round Dingy's Ronaldo comfortably, then he will be a forecast or even come and win the race late. So he might be worth a little saver, maybe Tommy Blue, if you can get around about 4-1. Moving on then to the second race, 6:28, this one. Interesting race, this one, because last week there was a void race, and Ballyboss him in Trap 1, who's recently switched to Janice Simpson after being at Nottingham. She bombed out the boxes, just got a little bit outpaced into the turn, but held her line and went round in front. But unfortunately, 2 Together, who was running from Trap 2 that evening, is in 3 tonight, had the top coat still on. It was a wet and rainy night, so it was a void race. So Ballyboss Sim then got to the line, chucked her head up a little bit as well. I think the hair might have gone away. So you kind of got a piece of form which says that Ballyboss Sim, if getting a break, and she didn't break on a debut, but it's a bit of an easier race, this one, and she might just be able to claim a posse on the inside. There's no value in her now because she has been really well backed, and I thought she was probably again about a 3-1 favourite in a competitive race. Interesting runner is Distant Storm. If he drifted to a big price on the Matchbook Exchange in Trap 4, I'll probably have a little bit on him because he's not a great bend runner, but there's not a lot of early speed in this race. Millcroft Misses is wide, Minnie's Ivan also wide. So I think Distant Storm might be able to get first jump on 2 Together. I don't really think that Jack's Bandita should be 7-4 favourite. I made her much bigger than that. She continues to disappoint, the 2 runner. She's 1 from 22, and that tells you the story there. So maybe the value has gone out of Ballyboss Sim. Be interested to see how she runs, but maybe a small little play if Distant Storm goes something 7 or 8 on the exchange. 6:43 is an A2 grade. Again, another Sharpies runner here, Sharpies Trinity in Trap 1. Hard to assess. A sort of an A3 stroke S2 sort of staying type from Sheffield. I thought in the form in Trap 2 here would get a good run into the turn. 3 Racket All Sonic, the outside next door neighbour, is probably going to edge off a little bit. Got a little bit of early, but I think in the form's got the best early. Should lead, will be all out near the line, but I think can hang on. So a small bet there, Trap 2 in the form. In the 6:58, race 4 is the A3 contest here. And again, a small play race. Rollo Lotto, we kind of keep getting this one wrong. She's a young pup of Kelly Tobin's. She's won 3 races now in a short career. But I wasn't convinced that she'd get the run of the race here. I was more taken at the prices with Donegal Jerry, who's got a bit of a drop in grade here, has got a chance to dominate. Rollo Lotto's not got an enormous amount of early, just got fair all-round pace. I thought Donegal Jerry could get first jump. And around the 4-1 mark, I thought that was real good value. Kinty Kunter in Trap 4 is a bit of an in-and-out performer, but a 10-1, I had to have a little bet on this one as well. More staying types on the inside, so could get first jump on 1, 2, and 3. Springwood Adele was disappointing last week when we bet her. Rycroft Nicks likewise, slow away and just running on late. Heathlaw Nelly ran okay, ran above herself for a 10-1 chance last week. So I'm going to be 6 on top of 4 at the prices and take on the short price favourite in 5. In race 5, we move on to the 450-metre events. Thought this was a really tough event. Dingy's Tommy on the inside. Again, another newbie from John Sharp's range. got a bit of early in sprints at Sheffield, so that could be a leader here. I don't really know whether he stays, so he's going to really be a negative for Log Buster. Millcroft George, interesting runner, but I don't think he'd be suited from the 483 switch back to the 450 because he's not a good breaker. Has got early, but I think the short runs to the bend will be against him. Turlo Queen could be an interesting runner. Might be a forecast dog, more of a frame-up dog in track 4 there. One for Coco and Ross Temple-Burt. They met last week, and one for Coco was better early than Ross Temple-Burt. So all in all, tricky race. I think it's a watching brief for me there. You might want to frame up track 4. The 6th race is a playing race. I just sided with Kilberry Tigey in track 4, my old mate. He's a bit of a thinker, the dog, but he has got speed. If he gets a good break and he clears Franey Delight, and he's got to do that into the turn, he's inside neighbour in 3. He has got a fair bit of trapping ability, so we just need to step lively out the boxes, get across and lead off. Gemma Pops is going to be the other dog that I backed last week. Was a bit disappointing, but she's missing a break. Generally, she's a quick breaker, but she just seems to have lost her trapping boots lately. But just in case she does get a decent start, because Moss Panda's a slow breaker and give her plenty of room, I'm just going to save on the red there. Nan's Breeder's up in grade in 5 after winning quite convincingly last week. Superstar, keep waiting for this one to show a bit more. She's now almost 16 weeks out of season as well, but she was rather disappointed when she had every chance last week and she couldn't claim Luggill Buster. So again, a watching brief for her. So a small bet for Kilberry Tigey and save on the red. 7th race, really tough race. This one couldn't really get to the bottom of this. Dingy Shez is a newcomer for John Sharp in 3. In my eyes, wants track 1. We'll cut across Magical Jimmy, who's not always a super breaker. Kid You Not's a 1 pace, a bit of a kidder. Fahi Queen's got a decent draw here. She is a good breaker generally, and she's got a little bit of an easing grade. Not a big fan of her particularly, but a smash break could win the race here. Pinocchio Jim, there's been a bit of money for this one. A bit of early, he cuts the bend, so he's going to do everything right to clear his inside neighbour here. Rosanda Best got a good draw, but she's a bit of a 1 pacer. So I didn't really stick this one up as a bet, but if Fahi Queen went something like 4 or 5 to 1, I'd have a really tiny bet on the 4-runner. Race 8, a B3 contest. Again, difficult to weigh up. Mad About Chap in his old form would really win this race. He'd lead and win. He's getting a slight knock at the bend and he's going a bit sideways crabby. I think they've had problems keeping him sound in the past. He's been switching between 483s and sprints. This is a 450. Mad Dog continues to run okay. Got a bit of pace. Run Tell Johnny likewise. I put him up as a bet and he drifted badly and didn't really put in any kind of run. But again, with a start, he could get in the race here. Billy's Ditch was a fair winner, but Midtown Milo's been off. So she might just need the run there. And Quino Kevin, he's rather going through the motions, and he switched back from 483s to 450, which is a slow breaker, isn't really going to suit. So all in all, I line that race. Race 9 is a B6 contest. I was trying again be with Blaine Fitzy. I'm sure there's a race in this fella. He was backed quite significantly when we put him up last week, but he missed a break and he couldn't clear break at Day Ebony, which is a bit of a disappointment. His old adversary, Hawkfield Wisdom's in track 3 again. I think it's between 2 and 3, but at the prices, I couldn't really see too much value. I keep watching Pacific Captain as well. His weight's creeping up to where it should be when it was in Ireland. So again, watching brief for him to see if he shows any better form from the 5. In race 10, this is a lowly B7 contest. Couldn't make head and tail of it. Leatham's Mario's got another fantastic chance to lead off, but he hasn't won since, well, I don't know when, a long time. 1, 2, and 3 are all staying types, all got their quirks. Swift Emphasis, likewise. Jamara Groves really disappointed last week, so again, I lined the 10th race. Race 11, I've got a small bet here. This is a sprint, and there's 2 debut dogs here for Ricky Overton. They both trialled together. Money Here, Lass in 2, Beat, Do It All, Matt Blackmore in 5. So I've just had a small bet on Money Here, Lass, because I don't really fancy too much else in the race. Conan's Dreams got speed. We know that. We always mention him, and he came in as a reserve and won last time. But this is a much more trickier race than that. if he did go silly price, I'd probably just get my money back with the 4 because at least he has got some kind of pace. In the 12th and final race, I do like Polo Marco here, trap 5. He's come back off a spell of lameness. He won on his return, first time sprinting. He was a B4 grade dog in the 450s back in June in the summer, and I think he's got not a lot more to do here. So he was about the best bet on the card because he has got early, and I think he can lead and win the last race. So that's a quick run through. Let's have a look at the bets that we're going to put up. There you go. First race, track 1. There you are now in the 609. Small bet around about 5 to 1. 643. Again, I think this one can lead in the form. Just about hold on. 658. I'm playing Donegal Jerry at 4 to 1 and saving on 4 or making actually 4 a winner, a massive 10 to 1. 736, favour Kilbarry Tigey over Gemma Pops. Taking a bit of a flyer in the 912 on a debut dog, Money There Lass. And in the last race, about the best bet in the card, trap 5, Polo Marco. Everyone be lucky.